Today's ready.
There it is, right on time.
No, I don't need any time thing.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry, thanks for coming to me anyway.
Bottom of the list.
That's okay.
Okay, I call this meeting to order. Could we stand for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I look for a motion to approve today's agenda. I'll make a motion to approve today's agenda.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I look for a motion to approve the minutes for September 9th.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? And we have our claims with the amount of $439,678.32. No promotion for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the claim.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 5 is meetings attended. Scott?
So I had a rest meeting last week and nothing too much, just went over their budgets and stuff, everything's looking all right. Then I met with Jordy Beating out at the old landfill. The DNR has a little bit of workforce to do out there, so line him up to take care of that. That's pretty much it.
I had a Eastern Iowa Port Authority meeting.
Bet that was exciting.
Still getting my feet wet down there. Did find out that, we're gonna do some dredging on Mississippi. And I guess there's a program where they're using dredging for restoration on island. So I guess pool 19 qualified for some of that, maybe pool 18.
The Corps is doing that, right, Kevin?
Yeah,
Not the Port
the
Authority.
Corps is doing it, but the two branches of that Port Authority, one's Eastern Iowa, I can't remember the acronym for the other one, but they also have to put some money into it, so. Yeah. I think it's grant money, but I mean,
We know about that.
other than that. I might have another Zoom meeting, I can't remember.
I understand they all kind of bleed together after a while. Tuesday evening, I had a public health meeting. Nothing earth shattering, pretty much business as usual. We did get to, after the meeting, get to look at the new car.
Okay.
We got it, yeah, they were happy. We looked at some of the other vehicles, looked like one other one that needed some tires, so we're gonna work on getting a new set of tires on another one. They did put the oldest one in reserve, so it's set off to the side in case somebody needs one, or we gotta set one in for repairs, so. Thursday afternoon, we had a county safety meeting. Susan and I, Paul was there, and our work comp. What's the acronym? for that?
IWMCA.
IWMCA, there we go, which is our work comp insurance. Two words, not good. It has gone up substantially, our claims.
Claims out?
Yeah. They gave us a 5-year, I tried to print them out so you guys could read them, but I did printer wasn't working this morning. Our 5-year loss for the last 5 years is $497,000. The previous, from 2014 to 2021, our yearly losses were somewhere between $258 and $6,200. And then from 22 to now, we had a yearly one of 47,000, one of 72,000, one of 373,000. So something has changed drastically. I have the pie graphs, I have all the printouts, some of this has got HIPAA information on it because it has names and claims and what happened, so I have to be very careful about how that information gets shared, but I'm working on trying to figure this out, what's changed, what's happened. Why they didn't completely come out and say that we were on the naughty list, they did kind of say we were really close to being on the naughty list, and if it continues down this path, they won't share us anymore. So we have to make changes. We're putting a committee together. We're gonna have a safety meeting before each department head meeting. Our department head meetings are usually at 10. In this room, we're gonna have the safety meeting before at 9. There's 2 departments that are having the worst part of it, so we've got to get those 2 departments together and kind of say, hey, you know, we gotta change our ways here a little bit, so we're working on that pretty hard. Did I miss anything about that? Okay. Friday, I had the great time of going to SIDSA, South Iowa Detention Service Agency, which was in Montrose. We went to the juvenile detention facility. They got, there was 2 big things that went on that day. Lee County, which the jail, Lee County Jail and the detention facility are right next to each other, right south of Fort Madison. And the Fort Madison State Penitentiary cooks the food for Lee County and this detention facility. Well, they're no longer gonna do that anymore. They're only taking care of themselves. So they had to figure out a way to feed the detention facility and Lee County. Lee County, when they built their jail, they did have a kitchen, but it really wasn't furnished because they were buying their meals somewhere else. So now they were looking to get their kitchen up and running to serve themselves and the detention facility. So in cooperation, the detention facility, which we're members of, elected to buy them a refrigerator and I think a stove, and they're gonna furnish everything else. Their meals are roughly costing $3.20 a meal, roughly. They think once they get started, they'll be able to lower those costs a little bit. We went over their population data. And then the other big discussion was allowing outside members. Right now, Louisa County and some other neighboring counties that were there are members. So there, when we take a juvenile down to that detention facility, charged so much per day for this individual, whether it's 1 or 20 or whatever. There's a member charge, because we're members of that, and then if an outside county brings in a child, there's an outside membership fee, which is substantially higher. There is some discussion on whether or not we allow additional members within. The only problem is that when that detention facility was built, us and the other members put money into a pool to build it. And now the outside counties that are coming in are getting the membership rate, but they didn't put any skin in the game for the building, and that was kind of the thing that I brought up. However, they mentioned, well, you know, that's fine, but we've got, I think they said they had 12 juveniles there, they have total of 20 beds. If they bring additional members in, that lowers everybody's costs across the board. So in hearing that, I always like to hear there's lower costs involved, but, the one part that helped was that any outside member that's getting the member rate now, if for some reason their beds are getting full, the current members that initiated it take precedence. So if we have a juvenile and another county that's outside member has a juvenile, we will take precedence. So with that did pass, and there will be additional members in that regional detention facility. And I got to eat prison food. That was awesome. I will have to report that it wasn't bad, but I don't know that I want to eat there. I did talk to him about Lee County. I think here in Louisa County, they serve 2 hot meals a day. And there's always some discussion whether or not we could cut that down. In Lee County, they serve 1 hot meal a day. Their breakfast is a Pop-Tart granola bar. I don't know what we serve here. I did ask them, I said, the argument here in Louisa County is the better you feed them, the less problems you have. And they said, well, yeah, that is somewhat true, but it's not a country club either. So I did get some information. I'll share that with our jail staff and see if there's some other things we can do for some cost savings in that direction. So that was an interesting meeting. So that's pretty much all I had. All I wanted last week, let's put it that way. Public input. Anybody want to address?
I have a question on that property tax reduction that's coming up. Does that affect the schools and the city councils also, or does that just affect the county?
I don't think that would affect the city. They're under their own tax rate.
Okay, so it's just the counties is what you're saying?
Yeah.
And how much is that gonna affect the county reduction, do you know?
Don't know that yet. They just got the tax stuff starting to go through now for the fall, so we'll find that out after they compile all their
So
information.
you don't know how much it's gonna, the loss is gonna be yet?
Anybody else? No? 2 payroll changes. We got one, actually, one was presented last week, but the date was wrong. That's our dispatch, so they changed the date to the 27th. And the other one was a length of service increase for the roads department. So. Adam's the next one on the list. Adam?
Well, I was say, Dick was here before me, so if you'd like to go first.
No, I got an annual report. You don't want to stick around for that?
Okay, that's fair, that's fair. Busy week on the roads, contractor, Manans Eastern Iowa has begun their work up on G28. Few years ago, we fixed the bridge and then we did some paving outside of it. Well, in order to get the new elevations to tie in, we have to take out another 100 feet of concrete and prepare it. So when the asphalt comes in, it'll match it better, you know, keep that nice. Smooth transition, so, hire from Muscatine as their a subcontractor, so they're working on it, next couple days, get that prepped. Next week, another subcontractor, Antigo, which is kind of a national or regional outfit, is coming in with a Kraken seat machine, which the existing pavement up there is about 5 to 6 inches of concrete. There's no rebar in it and no base. So our determination, the best operation was come in and break up that bigger panels into about this big, right? And so that'll serve as the base for our asphalt work, which will come in the next week. So probably what's today, the 16th? So maybe next week they'll be beginning some asphalt work and all that. So roads closed now, hopefully open at, at least open to traffic. I mean, people can go north and south on X14, they just can't go east and west on G28, so. Getting that done, the guys are up inspecting that. Our crews are still over on X17, doing patching and things like that. Probably doing that for the rest of the month or so is the plan, kind of. Doing that, in the office, we started some topo of Franklin Street out here, kind of get that done so I can work on design over the winter. I do have a preliminary agreement with the city, they're reviewing it and I'll bring it to you. Basically it says, we will design it, but all the costs will be on the city, so. It's what I talked about in the past, and then that would allow us to kind of lump that in with that other project and hopefully get some cost savings by having a big asphalt contractor in here, so. That'd be 2027, so. But again, the design is this year. Other than that, the guys are out blading and mowing and things like that. It is awfully dusty out there. Did have a meeting yesterday with the Drainage District 12 and Iowa DOT. Regarding some of the Highway 61 work, kind of how it would turn, so. West of Wapello, right, on the 5 mile lane, the highway is gonna go underneath. And our road is gonna go up and over, right? And that's gonna kind of create some drainage issues in that area. Our ask has always been, make sure that the drainage doesn't come back into Wapello, because we don't have anything to carry it. So through a couple meetings, we kind of got that straightened out, so water will go north and south and not east, so. I had a meeting with that, and then there's some other drainage issues in the south, but I believe the district is happy with it. So we're moving in the right direction on that. My understanding is DOT is supposed to be publishing a public information meeting for October 1st, Wednesday. And that'll be their next round of, hey, here's where we're at on design. And that will kick off the right-of-way purchase for the next phase. So, my understanding is the next phase is from 30th Street, which is where it was gonna tie into 61 now, from there up to the 5 mile lake. And then the next phase after that is the north phase. But, so they're working on it, and again, I expect some sort of a publication here, and maybe it's out, but so progress there. Talked to last Tuesday, there was a DOT meeting up on 92, and they expect their contractor to start paving next Monday up on the 92 west of Columbus. So hopefully after a couple weeks, we'll get X17 open and get some vehicles through there. Of course, it's based upon weather and contractor and all those kind of things as well, so. Quite a bit going on. I mean, I know some people are getting frustrated about the dust and all that. We did get everything north, all the houses north of 92 sprayed again. And with dust control, but it's not really working because it's so dang dry. And we're getting potholes in the dust control, so we have to lay them out, and it messes it up. But again, we're 2 to 4 weeks, hopefully, from having that, at least part of it open and taking a bunch of the traffic off of there. So, it's unfortunate, but again, construction is necessary to make things better in the long run. So,
Like the DOT approved the detour of the detour for Columbus Days.
oh, okay, I had not heard that, but good. So, yeah, there's lots of things that are going on right now. So, hopefully get things back in that area up to normal. I did see the DOT is out doing some wheel track patching up there on 92. the mandates, but better than nothing, so. So, any questions for me or anything going on out there?
I don't think so.
One thing I was gonna ask you, what, they're still mowing then?
Yeah,
So like on the golf course road where K goes across, if they could mow back a little bit on them corners, that grass is so tall, you gotta
Okay.
really nose out there
sure.
to be able to see coming off that hill.
Okay, yep, you're talking to the west there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yep, I'll
If they're
let
there, yeah.
them know. Yeah, we got 3 mowing machines, 7 districts, it takes everybody about a week to mow their district, so. But yep, I will let them know, so.
Thank you, Ed.
All right, thanks.
Jacob, you're next.
This is our annual report that the Conservation Board approves. I'm gonna use your copy to present it, but I'll go to you and share. Or I guess, but yeah, anyway, you have a flushed down version of our report. In the middle, we have a area by area, A to Z. You didn't get that in yours because it just made it be clunky and not palatable. But I can go over the main hits. The at a glance section at the beginning there, we had our Welcome Prairie Trail went in, you two were there. It's a pretty great trail. That was an Orion Renewable Resources, grant. You can call it a grant, might have been a donation. We had one less person this year, but I think overall we still did all right in the parks. There wasn't too many complaints out of the blue, so, we're managing. And now that Amanda Stallman is hired, she's been here for a month or more now, so she's doing great. She's filling her role perfectly. It's a precisely between naturalist in the schools and technician out in the world. So she's flashing back and forth, filling in where she's needed. So yeah, it's working great. Virginia Grove received a fish habitat stamp grant. That'll be going in this year before December of 26. That's when we're contractually mandated to have it in by. We hope to have it in this fiscal year because this is when we got the money. So to make it easy for everyone, we're gonna do it that way. Eden Park got a disc golf course. That was a great improvement out there. We did get a burn out there as well, so that's always a benefit. The pawpaws at Chinkpin Bluffs are really blowing up right now. They're ready to go. If you've never tried a pawpaw, I'd recommend it. I've heard they're natural laxatives, so watch out. Don't over consume, but they're delicious. They taste like a banana and a mango, all kind of mashed into one avocado-y thing. Anyway, we're doing some grafting out there, getting some bigger, better fruits, thanks to Tom Wall. And then Langwood got some grant funding for improvements this year. Thanks to Tri Rivers Conservation, the Conservation Foundation of Louisa County, the Schlutz Foundation, and Carver Trust Foundation. All those people helped get us some accessible drinking fountains, or just one, a concrete parking lot. We had a lodge for loading and offloading, and then some accessible docks for pond side scooping. Pretty neat stuff. Yeah, we had 14 board meetings this year, monthly, and 2 specials. Nothing too crazy happening there. We had our Friend of Conservation Award last year in October. Tom Wall received that for his help with our pawpaw grafting. He used his stock from his personal business, so it's a great addition for us. We maintained 5 full-time staff this year, or I'm sorry, in FY25. So when Sarah Martinez just left, this is pre all that. So no changes. We did get some seasonal staff hired. It looks like there's a bunch, but that's spread over 2 summers because fiscal year lands right in the middle. So it's some of spring and some of fall. So it's generally 2 naturalist interns, 2 or 3 maintenance interns, and then 2 people that help run our Toolsboro Museum. The next is the list of areas that we own versus the list that we manage. We as in the Conservation or the county, so boat ramps are listed under the county for whatever reason, but we own those, so. 16 of those plus 4 other areas for a total of 20, roughly 2,600 acres is what we're managing. If you like area amenities list, so if you want to go kayaking, you go down and say, all right, where can I go kayaking? And everywhere there's a little bubble, it tells you where you can go kayaking. Same for if there's toilets or if there's hunting for wetland or however you want to look at it. Get my portion. Next, I believe, is environmental education. We did see, again, every single student in Louisa County, K through 6, at least 2 times. That is a huge accomplishment. I can guarantee, based on our charts, that 1,300 roughly students were a different faced student, I guess if you're gonna call it that. So we saw 1,300 different kids in Louisa County. I don't know how many students there are, but it's pretty close to that. So we also held 14 programs for the youth and adult civic. That'd be private, church, youth camps, private events essentially. We did 3 programs with Hunter Education, 2 national archery in the schools program, and then 78 public programming, which had 13 non-unique attendees. So in case you went 2 or 3 of those programs, you aren't counted, or you are counted, sorry, 2 or 3 times. So still a huge number of participants. 5,000 non-unique school group attendees. So just astonishing numbers to me. We got some charts about what the percent of programs that we do. As you can see, 51% of every program is a school program. So we are benefiting the schools mostly. The next would be a public programming. So that could be during a weekend, during the summers. And then everything beyond that is private events, higher education, archery in the schools, and then day camps. So in general, school groups are what we're looking at. Camping information, 1,960 camper use days. So if 7 people stayed at Snively for 2 days, that would be 14 days of use. That's how we calculated that out. If 1 person stayed 1 night, that's 1. So 1,900 use days, that's 205 reservations. And then of those, I sorted them by name and address. And if they were different, that was what I considered unique. So 141 unique people came to or were from Louisa County, let's say that snidely. 67 at Virginia Grove, and then we don't know how many unique ones were at Lemmy Prairie, but in rough numbers here, we had 12,000 at Snively in revenue, 5,200 at Virginia Grove, and about 1,000 at Lemmy Prairie. These shelters, we have 2 reservable and 1 non-reservable shelters. Chinkman Bluffs got a huge number of reservations, 17. I guess that's not huge in comparison to future or past years, but I still think 17 people is a great number. Given there's 52 weeks in a year, that's every other weekend or maybe every third, but yeah. 26 language rentals for about $7,200. My most interesting findings, I think, is now we have demographics. Since we moved online, people are required to put in their zip codes, which is super helpful because then we were able to find how many people were from Louisa County, how many people were from out of state, etc. Not surprising because we've seen these in the past, but Virginia Grove is mostly Louisa County and surrounding counties, people that stay there. It's kind of our little honey hole. Snively, however, is opposite. It mostly brings in out-of-staters or out-of-countyers for sure. So at Snively on Odessa, 33% of the people that stay there are from Louisa County, which is an astonishing 77% out of county. So everybody that comes and stays at Snively are spending money elsewhere in the county on gas, groceries, whatever else they need. 10% were from out of state, which is crazy. I think that's awesome. There's 12 different states there, including with Virginia Grove. I didn't take the time to separate which states, but Oklahoma, Michigan, Wisconsin, Alabama, Washington, Illinois, Missouri, New Mexico, Nevada, Kansas, Florida, Louisiana, New York, Minnesota, Massachusetts. We had all those people registered at one of our campsites, so. Oh, and just past the fiscal year, it's like July, 4th of July weekend, I talked to somebody from Colorado, so we can add that to the list. Revenue was on the next page here. It's not, it is fluctuating naturally within $5,000-ish per year, so it's a good year for us. I wouldn't call it exceptional by any means, but it was ranked in our top 5 years probably, so that's always good. Talking to other counties, theirs is going down, so we're maintaining our, not necessarily COVID level status. You can see that 21 we're a little bit less than, but still we're doing good. We have some information on Langwood. Most of Langwood comes from in-state, I'm sorry, all comes from in-state. Most is from Muscatine and the Louisa counties. So it's also a local little honeyhole. We did have 915 total guests though. They at Langwood really enjoy weddings, and family reunions. And so as they bring in all those people as guests, they also spend money in the county and bring their own families back. So great for there. And then a financial report at the end that kind of just goes over not every line item, but the ones that are easily lumpable. Every dollar on this page is matched with the courthouse. So, yeah, up to date as far as it can go. And then we did receive quite a bit this year in grants, roughly $30,000, 9,000 from Wilson, 1,000 from ICAP, 3,300 from community foundations of Louisa County, and 6,800 from another community foundations, and then 3,000 from Schlutz, and 835 from the Columbus United Fund. Next year, we are looking to do more emphasis on natural resources conservation. We, in the past, I don't know for how long, we haven't gotten very many food plots in. We don't do very much timber stand improvement, as much as I would like to. Given that our name is conservation, in my opinion, we do very little conservation. So I'd like to reemphasize that. Pond management, all sorts of good stuff there. More rock on our entrance roads, get those cleaned up as the years go by. We are getting better. I mean, 5 years ago, we could hardly drive on some of our roads, and now we can drive 10 miles an hour. So that's great. Eden Park, it has a trust that's set up alongside of it. The person who gave us Eden Park left a trust so that way it would fund the park and not Louisa County. So that way it was never a burden on taxpayers. So we'd like to just, keep getting improvements in that park. Revamp some trail signage and road signs. I know some of them out there looking a little shabby. Sherwood's. Snively and Virginia Grove bathroom renovations. They're just falling apart for better words. We're paying for porta pots now and it gets expensive every month. So we're gonna try to get those bathrooms back up and going. More burning, increased weed control at playgrounds, parking lots, campgrounds. And then look at Virginia Grove Schoolhouse for any sort of fun ideas we can have. We've thrown out some ideas about a rentable location, but in order to make it rentable, we're not gonna be able to probably use grants for it because we'd be making money on it. So there's a balance of preservation versus recreation. Yeah, and then at the top, we have all our partners. I'm not gonna list them all, but these are people that we work with on a monthly, if not weekly basis, so.
We also talked about perhaps putting in the budget a power rake. Instead of keep throwing rock down, we can use that to bring the rock back up and that might help some expenses. Those aren't cheap pieces of equipment.
Sure.
There's
Short term versus long term.
a good piece of equipment.
Yeah, I'd say a successful year and that's any kind of stuff.
Do you ever look at harvesting trees like that bird timber? I'm sure it's got some oaks in there, but I didn't know if you guys ever do anything like that.
Yeah, we had, and well, everything that we do that has to do with harvesting will be ecological harvest. So at Virginia Grove, 3 or 2 years ago, there was an ecological harvest. So it was for the benefit of the timber. There was sale of trees, so we did make money on it, but all those money got ear tagged to go back into timber stand improvement again. So we do have a little bit in our reserve account for timber stand. Everything we do goes to the state forester though. So if they walk through it and they say, yeah, this is a healthy forest, we don't need to do anything to it. But if they go through and say, yeah, this is aging, let's definitely remove some of these oaks before they die.
Yeah.
And then leave some for, fruit crops, then look at that. Yeah, but yes, we have looked at it.
Yeah.
We're looking at Carroll Woods. There's a lot of unhealthy. That's when we like to step in, is when it's unhealthy or if it's going to become unhealthy. If we have a great stand, we'll manage it accordingly. But until, drastic measures need to take place.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you might as well harvest and let them just fall over.
Sure, absolutely. And some will leave because, animals need that. And
Yeah,
but yeah, if you've ever gone out to Virginia Grove in the last 3 years or two, there's some big open spaces and you're like, wow, some good stuff's going on in here. But yeah, nope, it's on our radar though.
Yeah, anything else for Jacob?
No?
Thank you, Jacob.
You guys make this easy.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Can I get you to sign this?
Certainly.
You're signing this as a conservation chair right now.
Okay.
On your fish grant. from
Yeah.
Virginia Grove, what's that?
It's gonna be a aeration system, solar powered, because we can't get power out there fiscally. So it'll just be a aeration system for that main area right in front of the fishing dock. We're getting a lot of, not necessarily fish kill, but unhealthy fish population, due to lack of oxygen in the water. So we're gonna try to get a bubbler going and, we're gonna put some riprap along the bank there for stabilization, and then it'll seep down into the water for fish habitat, so. And then we're gonna keep stocking, we've stocked every other year with catfish, but this year we're gonna go some bass, so. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I borrow my pen? Yes, this is your copy. Okay. Yes, thank you.
Kurt, you're next on the list.
Sorry, yeah.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
Numbers are up a little bit, have had quite a few come in recently for claims or, to argue their issues with the VA. We did, drop about, $700. We had a couple veterans pass, this last month, so those families lost the compensation from the veteran. Budget, we received the $10,000 allocation from the state. And then we also received the $2,400 reimbursement from my training to Louisville. 17 in the care centers. I forgot spouses there, sorry. Oh. I don't know why I dropped another line, sorry. Fourth quarter, it's not fourth quarter, but this quarter's assistance, there's been 0 expenditures. That's so far for the year. Each vet that comes in, I do screen them to see if they are eligible for that or any other pension or whatnot through the VA. Fall school, no changes there, October 13th. It's open to the commissioners or to yourselves if you'd like to go. I'll be on vacation during that time. And the training that they're offering for that week only offers, I think, an hour and a half that would be going towards my CEUs. There's a lot of the county veteran service officers that are deciding not to go. It's not a good use of their time. Not that it wouldn't be good training, but it's not, we don't think it's meeting the bill. So much so that Taylor Collins and a few of the other representatives and senators are going to the IDBA to ask that they improve the topics and the training. Van update, 2 trips this last month. One is pending. I attended last month the Vietnam Veterans Association meeting. And then this week I'll go to the American Legion Oakville and the American Legion and Morning Sun meetings. And again, I'll be on vacation the 18th to the 25th. And we have our commission meeting this week. Any questions?
How's our van doing? Would you guys report on mileage on the van?
Do we report it?
No, do you have any idea what the mileage?
I don't, off the top of my head, no. I know it's, I gave it up maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago to the DAV office up there, American Legion, they asked for it. It wasn't very much. I mean, it doesn't move very much.
Here, all right, thank you. Okay, gentlemen, that's all I have on my list, unless somebody else wants to. Rest of the board before I call for an adjournment.
Oh, motion for adjournment?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Any adjourned?